Hello, hello, hello.
Is that you, Paul? It's Steve here. Is that you, Paul?
Yes, it is, Steve.
How are you?
Hello, darling. I'm all right, thanks. Yeah, great.
Have you had your breakfast?
I have.
What'd you have? Anything good?
I had cereal.
Hey, that's great.
Cereal with some fruit. This is like the old Beatles days. And what do you brush your teeth with?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And what's your favourite colour, Paul?
I know.
Now, back in June, we got confirmation that a 17th solo album by Paul McCartney was on the way. And last Friday, he released it. It's called Egypt Station. It's his first album of all new music for 5 years, and it's the same name as one of his paintings. It's an album of songs in the old school way of being a journey from start to finish, going from one song to the next with instrumental station tracks at the start and the end. Very interesting. Aside from loving it, many reviewers have also enjoyed finding references and links to music from across Paul's career. Rolling Stone said this album's masterpiece, Dominoes, has an eerie acoustic guitar hook worthy of the White Album. Mojo said his bounciest, catchiest, most consistent collection since, well, Band on the Run. And NME said the thunderous opening of People Want Peace recalls the title track of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, and the album ends like Abbey Road on a medley. So let's talk about it with Paul McCartney. Paul, good afternoon. How are you?
Hey, Steve, I'm lovely.
Hang on, Paul. We haven't given you a round of applause yet. Would you like a round of applause?
Come on. I need it.
Hey, Paul McCartney. Paul McCartney. Are you kidding me?
Wait a minute. We'll give you a round of applause from this end.
Okay.
Wait, Steve, all right. Okay, there you go.
I love it. Now, you know when you did the New York gig the other day in Grand Central Station?
Yeah.
Now, I know that very well. It's one of my favourite places of all time. Can you tell me exactly where you were?
We were in a place called the Vanderbilt Hall.
Yeah, so that's right next to the main bit.
The main concourse, yeah, that you've seen in all the films. To the side, there's a place they use for events. There was like a fashion show in one bit and there was a food hall in the other bit. You know, we rented it and did a little surprise gig there. It's such an iconic building. With the album being called Egypt Station, we were kicking around ideas and we sort of said, well, what about doing a gig in a big station or something? So we thought of Grand Central.
Yeah.
I just wanted to go there just because it's so great. Anyway, it worked out. The acoustic was crazy. It was like very echoey, but my sound guys are brilliant and they sorted it out.
Now, talking about the album, tell me about Greg Kurstin. Who exactly is Greg Kurstin?
No idea. Some guy who came in off the street. Greg Kurstin is a guy I worked with probably about 3-4 years ago when I was doing a little thing for an animated film project, and I'd had this song I wanted to record with Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
So I met Greg when we did that. We did kind of live in the studio. And I really liked him, got on very well. He's kind of quiet, unassuming and super musical. So we had a good time, and then I left it. I wasn't doing anything for a little while. Meantime, then he goes and gets Grammy of the Year for the Beck album.
Yeah.
And then he goes and works with Adele, co-wrote Hello with her. He plays the instruments on it. I think he plays all the instruments on it. So then my worry was, well, if I go back with him, people are going to think I'm working with the flavour of the month.
Yeah.
However, I'm stressing that I knew him before.
Okay.
See what I'm getting at?
You also worked with Ryan Tedder, didn't you, from One Republic?
Yeah. I had about a week when I had nothing on, and my manager said, do you want to keep the momentum going? Because I was in the middle of making the album. I said, yeah, okay, I don't mind. He said, well, maybe you get another producer, try another producer. So he sent me some names and music, and I liked what Ryan had done, so I gave him a ring, said, you fancy doing it? So we spent a week together and made up 3 tracks, one of which got on the album.
Happy With You. Almost kind of like an old Beatles thing, and lyrically interesting.
I am like an old Beatles thing. That's what they call me. Hey, old Beatles
thing over there.
Nicely picked up.
But deliberately so, or just the way it happened?
No, it's just the way it happens. I mean, I am me. When I pick up a guitar, in that case, looking for a nice little riff, which I sort of found, and then I start singing along with it, making the song. And sometimes it does come out in a style that you could have said would have worked with the Beatles.
And you've started doing a lot more harmonies with yourself.
Yeah, even though the guys in my band are brilliant at harmonies, because I did quite a few of the tracks with the band, But sometimes we didn't do that. Sometimes I'd just go in and we try and rework a song. While we were arranging it, I'd sort of say, oh, we want to do harmonies, etc. One of the songs in Case was something I'd done at my home studio with my engineer, Steve, who is actually recording this for us as we go.
Thanks.
Hello, Steve. Yeah, he's giving me the thumbs up. But I'd done this, and I'd wanted these harmonies, but they were too high for me to sing. What? They were all up there. Hey, wait a minute, I can do it now. Oh. Anyway, I couldn't on the day, so I did them lower. So they were, bum, 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 and I recorded them all. So I had the notes, but they were lower than I wanted to do them. And I was just talking to Greg about this. He said, you know what? These days, we can take it up an octave.
Oh, brilliant.
You never used to be able to do that because it would all go funny and glitch. Nowadays, the equipment's so sophisticated. So on one of the songs, he did that. So we started playing around with things like that, layering.
Some of these songs, it seems to me, that you want people to hear the lyrics. What about Confidant? Because the lyrics are quite important and the songs are there to make us think, not just to be beautiful melodies.
You hope so. I mean, some songs, it doesn't matter and you don't even bother with the words. But if you think about it, throughout the Beatles' career, there got to be some good little songs with really good little lyrics. So a song like Confidant that you mentioned, I was at home on my own watching a bit of telly, I think, and in the corner I saw my old guitar leaned up against the wall. I hadn't played it for about a month, and normally I'm playing the guitar every day, you know, it's like a hobby. And I got this idea, oh, he must be feeling left out kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. But anyway, so that occurred to me and I thought, oh, let me write a song and just remember what the guitar means to me.
Yeah.
So it became a nice idea to play with. They used to be my confidant, my underneath the staircase friend. And I was remembering all the millions of times that I'd written songs or just played the guitar. But, you know, I told you every secret thought, all these things that happen when you're writing a song on a guitar.
There's a great variety of styles on this album, and also there's a great contemporary sound to the whole thing. That must have been something you were really striving to get.
There's no point in getting anything that isn't contemporary, because if you're hoping to get played on the radio, you don't want your record to be the kind of soggy one that doesn't work. We were always very keen on that. We used to say to George Martin, look, the Supremes are going to come on with Stop in the Name of Love, and ours comes on next. We want ours to be as loud, or possibly a little louder.
Yeah.
So you're always keen on that, knowing you're going to be in a programme of other songs. And that's the good thing when you work with someone like Greg. He has a contemporary sound, or Ryan.
Can I do a few quickie questions? Yeah. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much did you enjoy the carpool karaoke where you went back to Liverpool?
11.
I thought you'd say that. If the Beatles hadn't happened, what would you be? Where would you be? What would you be doing, do you think?
I think I might have been teaching English in school, because that was the only thing I was good at. And the careers master said, that's all you can hope for. So go on, that's the quickie. Teacher.
Okay,
There's a great Radio 4 drama where they did that. They imagined what would have happened to the Beatles had they not made it big. And in fact,
what did they put me down?
You did end up teaching in a Liverpool school, but you eventually got together with John and it all worked out nicely in the end.
Good.
Are you a rival of Mick Jagger or are you a friend?
No, friends. I don't even know how that came to be. I mean, I think it's probably just newspapers where it's a better story to say that the Stones and the Beatles hate each other. Or, I mean, if you remember, one time it was the Dave Clark Five who hated us and we hated them. I mean, in actual fact, you always used to just see each other at clubs, you'd have a drink together, you'd hang out, you go to each other's parties. And the Stones and the Beatles has always been a great friendship.
Other than John and other members of the Beatles, who's influenced your songwriting and your musicianship, including singing, the most?
Elvis, Little Richard for the singing. You'd have to put in Brian Wilson for songwriting, Bob Dylan. Those are a few.
And is there anybody that around at the moment that you feel like you want to work with? I mean, I'm thinking, do you like Ed Sheeran, for example?
Yeah, I like Ed. I like very much what he does, yeah. I'm not really that big on collaborating. It's funny because people said when we were making this album, who are we going to have on as guests? Every track is like featuring Wobbly Donkey. You know Wobbly Donkey,
Wobbly
don't
Donkey, great.
I like
bet-
Wobbly Donkey.
Yeah,
you?
two of their
He's
gigs.
So good.
Like
He's
all
so,
that.
so I just thought, I can't be bothered. And so that is what happened. There's nobody featured except my band.
Despite repeated warnings, what's all that about?
Someone was saying that climate change was a hoax, and I don't believe that. I think it's a serious reality. I just thought for a leader of a country to tell us that it's just a hoax, so don't worry about it, guys. It's just great. Keep going as you are and bring back coal. I just thought it was crazy. And so I saw this phrase in a newspaper, said, despite repeated warnings, so decided to write a song about, it's like the captain of a ship who was about to lead us right to the icebergs, even though people would say, no, you could crash. I mean, I often do that in songs, sort of make them into characters.
I've got to say, that's my favourite track on the whole album. That is tour de force songwriting of the highest order. It's brilliant. And it's very much in a kind of day in the life, Bound on the Run structure, isn't it? Because it's the longest track on the album as well.
Oh, great. Thanks. Yeah. I mean, I like to do that. It's an interesting thing to do. And as you say, with Bound on the Run, Day in the Life, Live and Let Die, these like segments that come together as the song, it's exciting to write like that because you've got to get segments that will work together. And then you've got to make the key changes appropriate so it works. So it's good. It's like a little crossword puzzle.
Every time we speak to you, Paul, over the years, I always end up by saying, well, you're touring and you continue to tour. And then for some reason I say, why? And then you say, because you like it.
Yeah. And it's still the same. Believe me, I asked why as well. Because it's like, why don't I just doss around? Why just go on holiday? And the truth is I do. People say to me, why do you work so hard? Because they only see that side of it. Nobody knows I just had August off.
All of it or not?
All of August.
Wow.
Where'd you go? Did you go to the
Swanning around.
seaside?
I was in America. I was on my little sailboat and I was meeting friends and going to dinner. I had all the kids. I had the grandkids. So I do plenty of that. To balance that, I like to work. So in my case, working is singing and playing with the band. And that's its own particular kind of thrill, It's something I love to do.
And then you pick up the tour next Monday, right? And then you're going to be everywhere.
Yeah, tomorrow we'll be rehearsing in Quebec in Canada. We've got about 4 or 5 days there. And then we do a gig in Quebec. And then we go across Canada. And then after that, we have a little bit of time off. And then we go to Japan.
Yeah.
And then after that, we have a little bit of time off. And then we come to Europe, places like Krakow.
Ah, great.
Where you always wanted to go.
Sure.
Paris and Copenhagen and places like that. And then we end up in UK. We do Liverpool, Glasgow and London.
Yeah, we got Wednesday, 12th of December, Liverpool Arena. Friday, 14th, Glasgow Hydro. Sunday, 16th, London O2 Arena. Is it important to you to be, in 100 years' time, to be like Bach or Beethoven and remembered? Or does that not bother you? Do you know what I mean? A legacy thing.
The thing is, Steve, the truth is that when you've kind of accomplished as much as the Beatles have and Wings have and me solo, you don't think about it too much. You just try and sort of put it to one side, particularly if you want to keep going, because it can get in the way. So I leave that to other people. I remember John once worrying, and he said, oh, God, I have no idea. How am I going to be remembered? And it shocked me, because I stopped him and said, look, just listen to me. You are going to be remembered as being the coolest thing ever, because you are. And it was funny, he didn't know. So it doesn't worry me how I'm remembered, really. Hopefully it's good, but it's nothing I think about too much.
Lovely to talk to you. That was a great answer, by the way. Egypt Station, the new album by Sir Paul McCartney, is out now. You can see him on his Freshen Up tour in the UK in December. And can you thank Steve for doing the recording in the background? And
hey, Steve.
We're going to give you a round of applause. If you could give us a round of applause as well, we'll do it all at once.
Let's all at once. Mass applause.
Okay.
Here we go.
Paul McCartney, everybody. Thank you, Paul.
All right, see you, Steve. Thanks.
Bye-bye.